Unfortunately, today or last night, we had a shooting where 8 people plus the shooter lost his life. Um, I'm going to do this article. It was published on the 16th of April. It is by Tess Owens and David Gilbert. This is from Vice News, and they also got their news from NBC.com as well. 8 people are dead, and 1 person is in critical condition after another mass shooting. A 19-year-old named Brandon Scott Hull has been identified as the suspected shooter who left 8 people dead and 5 people injured at an Fedex facility near Indianapolis Airport. The suspected shooter allegedly drove to the facility around 11 p.m. on Thursday night, got out of his car armed with a rifle, and started shooting. He allegedly killed 4 people outside the facility and another 4 inside, before turning the gun on himself. There were no confrontations with anyone there, no disturbance, no argument, said the Indianapolis Police Deputy Chief of Criminal Investigation, Craig McCart, at a press conference on Friday. He just appeared to randomly start shooting. The attack lasted just 1 or 2 minutes, according to McCart. It was very short, he said. The suspect was known to federal and local authorities prior to the shooting, according to CNN, which reported that one of the suspect's family members had even contacted the authority because they were concerned about his potential for violence. Police arrived on the scene very shortly after the first shots were fired, and while the suspect was still on the scene, police entered the FedEx facility and encountered the suspect. He immediately took his own life. When officers arrived, they found a very chaotic and active crime team, or they found several victims injured, McCreek said at a press conference on Friday morning. Besides the 8 people who were killed, 5 others were injured and taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds, the Minneapolis Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement Friday morning. 1 person is in critical condition. 2 other people were treated at the scene and released. FBI Special Agent Charge Paul Keenan said that federal agents were assisting in the investigation, including searching a suspect's residence and interviewing witnesses at the scene. But he declined to offer... Ooh, that changed. Okay, sorry about that. But he declined to offer any information about the possible motive of the shooter, noting that the investigation is still in its early stages. It would be premature to speculate, Keenan said. He added that there was no further threat to the Indianapolis community. All right, well, unfortunately, in this situation, to me, that's the only way this guy would have died, is if he killed himself, because the police weren't going to do it, and none of the people at the facility weren't going to do it either, because they probably didn't come to work with guns either. It said that he has been, someone has said something before, but again, unfortunately, our law enforcement, unless that person is black, our law enforcement does not care about anybody being a threat to the community or to whatever city or town they're in. So this is a whole lot of an issue, especially if this has already been pointed out that this person, a 19-year-old, is a problem and he needs to be looked into, and nobody does anything until he goes crazy and starts shooting everybody. Unfortunately, this is the kind of system we live in. This is the people that are supposed to protect and serve aren't doing that. They're not treating everybody with the same vigor that they do certain other people, which is black people. We need to really start understanding that these people have a big double standard when it comes to our kind of crime, black people crime, and white people crime. Unfortunately, they don't punish themselves like they do us. They don't come after themselves like they do us. And we got to understand that. We got to understand that these people are only protecting their supremacy and their needingness to oppress people. There's going to be a lot more shootings because a whole lot of changes is coming up. And some of these white people are not happy about these changes. And you know what? To really think of it, I really don't think that there really has to be any big changes for these people to go off like that, to really think about it. Anything that doesn't go their way, that means that they can grab a gun and go off and shoot stuff and shoot people because their day is not going well. I've noticed that they're the only people that can do that. If we're not having a good day, well, okay, you better go to bed and hopefully that it won't be so bad tomorrow. But these white people, they can get mad about anything. Just like that fella in Atlanta. He started shooting people because he got caught doing some crazy mess and he didn't want to be accountable for it. And there's a whole lot of moving around of accountability here. Because one person's going to blame the other person and the other person's going to blame somebody else. We have to understand what we're dealing with and the system that we're involved in today. And quite frankly, we've always been involved with. We just haven't had the right voices to tell us what we're looking at. Like I said, this is not the last time this is going to happen. This is not the last time that we're going to have this problem because people do not want to corral the people that they should be. Instead, they're so worried about what everybody else is doing. They're not worried about the real problem. And that in itself is the problem. And you don't see black people going out here just randomly shooting people, like a whole host of people. You don't see that happening. This is what the white community. And police do not want to police the white community. Let's understand what's going on here so we can stop being confused and go ahead and get this stuff over with. Thank you so very much for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a good evening.